Canelo. Jesus Lord. Come on. You're getting paid all this money to fight against a runner who we all knew was gonna run. A Cuban style. You chose him. And now you say you hate fighting runners? Well then, don't fight runners.
What the f he was doing, you know? I heard that that's never happened to him until he got with Reynoso's group, you know what I'm saying? So maybe they are doing shit that they're not supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't clean him out at the right time and he got caught up, you know? So, you know, I guess I'll just wait for him too. I just got to focus on July 12th. You know, after that, anything can go.
It was, it's not interesting to see the fight when one person doesn't want to win at all. But it was hard to fight for Canelo because he was always aiming, and even the skull didn't throw punches, and it's hard to catch him, you know, he's just moving. But his movement is good, to be honest.
Yeah.
It seems boxing may be reaching the end of an era for Canelo Alvarez. Not because of a crushing defeat, not because time has slowed him down, but because of the long shadow that has followed his career. Steroid claims, peds talk, and doping allegations. The fighter, once celebrated as the top name in the sport, the pride of Mexico, and the next ruler after Floyd Mayweather, is now surrounded by non-stop controversy.
And it's fucked up that they don't got Tank as one of the top guys, pound for pound. And you look, they can rate Canelo up there, and I just feel like Canelo is one of the guys. He's one of the top guys up there, but he's not the only guy. Even though Spence went through what he went through, and Crawford, these guys should be rated up there. Every time they went out there, they done what they had to do. There's so many young fighters that's up and coming that we don't talk about. That kid Ennis Booth, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him. I tell these fighters, don't. Hell of a fighter. Benavidez should be ranked in the top pound for pound. But what we don't talk about is, you know, Canelo. Steroids. They don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
You think he was clean the night he fought?
I'm saying, I don't know. That's y'all.
From his 2018 clenbuterol scandal to rivals like Terence Crawford, David Benavidez, and Jermall Charlo openly saying he is not clean, and fans wondering if his whole career was built on more than pure talent. This is the end for Canelo Alvarez. Goodbye forever. Let us explain it clearly. Canelo Alvarez was not just a boxer. He was a symbol. Turning professional at only 15, the red-haired fighter from Guadalajara carried the dreams of a full nation. He faced every challenge anywhere and built a name as the hardest working man in boxing.
Everything you want, beautiful family. What motivates you to keep going? Why do you keep going?
I love boxing. I love what I do. I still enjoy my training camps. I enjoy boxing. I love this. I enjoy a lot this. So, and I want to continue to make history because I want to put my name in a big stage, in a big position for my history. So, and I still enjoy it. I love what I do.
He rose to become Mexico's biggest star, a unified champion, the main name of boxing pay-per-view, and the fighter who changed history by becoming the first undisputed super middleweight champion. He faced Gennady Golovkin, Miguel Cotto, Sergey Kovalev, Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Plant. The list kept growing. With every victory, the story of Canelo became bigger. But legends are not unbreakable. In 2018, the first cracks began to appear.
Canelo, man, I don't know if he's cheating.
What do you mean?
I feel like Canelo juices. But I'm a Triple G fan, so I'm a say that ahead of time. I just like Triple G.
There's a lot of money on the line, and if I could get away with it, I would do it as well.
Some tainted beefs.
I think, well, he definitely got busted once for something, but it could have been from tainted beef.
We don't know. But it also could be that, you know, we should probably leave them the fuck alone and let them do whatever they want to do. Do you want to see Manny Pacquiao fight or not? Right? I want to see him juiced up, fighting at 45 years of age, coming in with a full six-pack, lighting people on fire.
The world was waiting for the Canelo versus GGG rematch, which was one of the most hyped fights of the decade. But only weeks before the fight, the boxing world was shaken. Canelo tested positive not once but twice for clenbuterol, which is a banned substance.
Alvarez failed a drug test before his big Triple G fight in May, and he's blaming Mexican cows. All right, here's the deal. 2 months until the rematch with Gennady Golovkin on May 5th is going to be the big fight, and he's been taking drug tests leading up to the fight, standard operating procedure. This time he popped for a substance called clenbuterol, which is a banned substance. As a matter of fact, it helps you cut weight. A lot of people use it illegally, cut weight while maintaining muscle mass. He is saying he did not cheat. He's not a cheater. I did not intentionally take clenbuterol. Problem is, I've been training in Mexico and eating contaminated cow beef. That's what he's saying. There's a problem apparently in Mexico where some of the cattle are being injected with clenbuterol, which helps cows. It's illegal in the United States, but some places outside the United States, even some places in the United States, will use clenbuterol to grow bigger cows, to up the protein content in the meat. And he's saying that what he had was contaminated meat because his training center is in Mexico and there's a problem with Mexican meat down there. He even issued a statement saying
his excuse was contaminated beef in Mexico. And yes, it is true that Mexico has a history of clenbuterol appearing in cattle feed, but fans did not accept it. They saw it as an easy excuse for a fighter who always looked bigger, stronger, and more powerful than everyone else.
Controversy about Canelo Alvarez's legacy. Not only did he call their 2013 fight easy, Floyd went deeper. He brought up the failed steroid test from 2018, Mayweather said. Canelo's transformation raised red flags and questioned whether all those knockouts were clean. This dude talking about eating bad meat? Are you eating steroid cows? To Mayweather. This isn't trash talk, it's about protecting the sport. He believes Canelo's record is clouded by performance enhancers, especially against smaller fighters. With Crawford stepping up in weight, Floyd's warning hits hard. Be smart. Don't base everything on power.
Canelo was suspended for 6 months by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The fight was delayed and his reputation that was once untouchable was suddenly under fire. And here is the truth about peds in boxing. Once your name is connected to them, it never disappears. Now look at today, and the storm has not faded, it has only grown stronger. David Benavidez clearly said if Canelo was fully confident in himself, he would fight me. But when 5 fighters from your camp test dirty.
Canelo was 100% confident in himself. I don't know why he wouldn't fight me, especially since, you know, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off
You think
steroids.
he's on steroids?
Of course.
Sure.
How does 5?
You saw De La Hoya call him out.
How do 5 people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids?
Right.
You know what I mean? No, all those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
Including you. Then everyone knows what is really happening. All of you are dirty. Jermall Charlo went even further and accused Canelo of micro-dosing using clenbuterol in amounts meant to avoid being caught. Charlo even said, you really think Canelo has not been using clenbuterol for years? Come on.
Just asking, when you think about Canelo and the PED usage, right? This is probably the 4th or 5th fighter out of that camp that's come up hot for PEDs. Just what are your thoughts around that? And
I've been telling y'all about Snack for a long time. Victor Conte them. All right, so like, all right, hear me out. No bullshit for real. They make the drug at the limit of non-responsible. All right, so like this right here, this level is you're banned. That's a banned substance. They will make the drug all the way up to the line of the banned substance, but it just doesn't show, so it's not responsible. So they've been doing that shit for years, but now that they, tapped into it, it's getting caught. Y'all think Canelo hasn't been taking clenbuterol for a long ass time? Y'all think he ain't back on that shit? Or y'all think it was just in the state? Cause I go to Mexico all the time, from Houston, from Texas. I'm in Mexico all the time eating steak. I ain't never got popped for no shit like that.
When you think about
they micro-dosing it, they're look, no excuse. I'm not trying to put nobody out there. This don't got this not just boxing. This a lot of athletes all over the world. They make the drug right there to the line of like this qualification, but they don't surpass it. So they're not getting caught for it. A lot of these fighters are all kind of shit.
And now Terence Crawford, ahead of their September fight, doubled down on it. He said Canelo is not clean.
What's up, everybody? I want to give a big shout out to Snack for always supporting and helping me out with this previous fight. Snack strong, baby.
When your rival is attacking you before the fight even begins, when other fighters are openly laughing at you, and when fans keep doubting every victory, your career is in serious danger. No matter how many titles you hold.
Not much you can do either. The other thing about it is, like, once your body doesn't produce it anymore and you're in your late 30s like that and you've been juicing for a long time.
There's like Clomid and stuff that tries to or HCT or HTC. Is that that's a cell phone? Either way,
HCG or something like that.
Whatever it is, but it's supposed to boost your testosterone naturally, but never to the levels when you're injecting that Jamba Juice.
No, not only that though, you can't take that stuff. It's
not
illegal.
in the UFC.
Right, it's illegal.
I'm just saying that's true. I guess when he retires, he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, when he retires or goes to Ryzen. Can you imagine if the UFC lets him out of the contract and then all of a sudden he disappears for like 8 months and just we hear just locked in the house with horse meat, just fillet of horse all day.
He's eating that Canelo meat
and goes back to deadlifting.
Let us be honest. PEDs change everything in boxing. They do not only make a fighter stronger, they help with faster recovery. They make weight cuts easier. They allow a boxer to fight longer with more energy. They help fighters survive battles others cannot. That is why so many fans feel betrayed. Because PEDs are not just cheating, they are dangerous. When one fighter has that advantage and the other does not, every punch becomes deadly. And the history of Canelo's camp does not help his case. Jaime Munguia, a close ally, also tested positive. That is why Benavidez says it is not just Canelo. It is his entire team. Here is the real tragedy. Canelo has achieved everything a fighter could dream of. He unified divisions. He fought the best pound-for-pound stars. He carried boxing on his shoulders for almost 10 years. But legacy is not only about winning. It is about how fans remember you. And right now Canelo is close to being remembered not as a legend but as a cheat. Think about names like Barry Bonds or Lance Armstrong. Amazing athletes but forever marked. That is the shadow Canelo now walks under.
Watch this. How would you have done if you didn't cheat? It'd be very difficult, right? Old school doping, cortisone, and other things here and there. 1, maybe 2%. EPO is a 10%. What do you think we all did?
But you didn't get 10% better. You got 100% fraudulent. This isn't about redemption. It's reputation damage control in disguise. You didn't make a tough choice. You made the easiest one. Lie, inject, win, repeat. And while you were stacking trophies and $1 million brand endorsements, you were burying every clean athlete who still believed in hard work. You were a role model to me as well until you became a warning label. You didn't cheat the system. You cheated the fans, you cheated the sports, and you cheated yourself. And now you're trying to justify setting a wrong example for anyone who's actually trying to get ahead in life. And this is exactly why I don't do business with anyone who buys followers and likes on social media. Because if you lie about that, what else are you lying about? What are your thoughts about it?
Let us be honest, Canelo Alvarez is not the same champion anymore. The dominance, the fire, and the explosiveness do not feel the same today. Just look at his latest fight against William Skull. Fans were excited and hoping for the old Canelo magic. But instead they watched 12 boring and lifeless rounds where Canelo looked like a man just going through the motions, not the pound-for-pound king he once was. Skull, a mostly unknown Cuban fighter, had nothing on paper that should have troubled Canelo.
Absolutely crap, load of rubbish. The fight really was a waste of time. If you haven't watched it, don't watch it because there's better things you can be doing, like probably watching the grass grow or watching some paint dry maybe. But that fight was a total waste of time. Watching that as a former unified super middleweight world boxing champion and Hall of Famer, I was thinking to myself, what an opportunity you've got there. If I was fighting still 10 years ago, if that opportunity came up for me, I know Canelo Alvarez is going to be a tough fight for anybody. I know it's a long ask trying to beat a guy like that, but come on. If I'm in there with Canelo for whatever amount of money, There's going to come a point where I'm saying, right, I'm going for it now. Probably around 3 or 4, I'm going to stick it on him and have a go. To be given an opportunity like that, Skull, defending his IBF title and potentially becoming undisputed, to go in there and just perform like that, for me, it's not acceptable. And I think in my day, and with my mindset and the way I used to fight, I'd have gone for it. Just gone for it, and then give the fans, give the boxing fans, and do myself and my trainer proud.
Yet Canelo did not deliver a statement performance. He did not chase the finish. He did not send a warning to the boxing world. Instead, it was a slow, careful, and honestly boring unanimous decision win. And that is the problem. Boxing fans do not tune in to watch Canelo simply go through the motions. They want to see him in the biggest and most dangerous fights. The kind that define a legacy. And when we talk about big fights, there is one name that has followed him for years. David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. Fans have been demanding this fight. The boxing world has been calling for it. But every time Canelo has avoided it, dismissed it, or stepped away. Instead, he chooses safer opponents like Skull, while Benavidez keeps knocking out top contenders and building the case that he is the real king at 168. And it is not only the fans saying this. Analysts, former fighters, and even promoters are starting to speak up. Canelo is protecting his status, not proving it anymore. Because deep down everyone knows Benavidez is a real danger. And Canelo does not want to risk losing the one thing that keeps his aura alive. His place as the face of boxing.
From Benavidez. What is that? I mean, imagine if I ever ran from anybody. Like, did I run from somebody in my career? No. Did Chavez run from somebody in his career? No. Chavez was 87-0. Imagine that. So to me, that's the all-time greatest.
So yes, he is still winning, but his victories are not exciting. They do not feel special, and they are not the fights people want to see. That is why more and more fans are saying the same thing. This is not the Canelo Alvarez we once knew. Which brings us to his upcoming fight with Terence Crawford. Now let us talk about the biggest issue in this Canelo versus Terence Crawford matchup. The weight difference. On paper, this looks like the fight of the year, maybe even the fight of the decade. 2 pound-for-pound greats, 2 all-time legends finally stepping into the ring together. But when you really look at it, the size gap is huge, and it is making many fans wonder if this fight is even fair. Canelo Alvarez has been living comfortably at 168 pounds, carrying natural strength and power at super middleweight.
Terence Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses either. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Errol Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can make.
What the next couple of months are going to hold for both guys.
This is going to be super interesting for Canelo especially. Everyone's focusing on Terence Crawford because he's a smaller guy. How much weight is he going to put on, et cetera, et cetera. No rehydration clause in this fight. Meaning, you know, like when Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, because Canelo's the bigger guy, he put a rehydration clause in because Floyd was the money guy. If Canelo wanted the payday, he had to acquiesce and give Floyd what he wanted. Canelo's the money guy. Terence Crawford can't go in there and say, hey, I want a rehydration clause. Not that he even would, right? So everyone's looking at Crawford, how big is he going to be? But I'm looking at Canelo. What Canelo comes into this fight? The older Canelo, meaning the younger Canelo, the older guy, you know, the old, long time ago Canelo, who was a really well-rounded counterpuncher, who could do everything, or this more recent Canelo who just...
The boxing world is divided right down the middle. Some believe Canelo's size and strength will run straight through Bud, while others think Crawford's skills are too sharp and that his timing and fight intelligence will cancel out everything Canelo brings to the ring.
Last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You mention me one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
it's gonna be me.
I don't care about anybody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be.
So is it over? On paper, Canelo is still the face of boxing. He is making money selling pay-per-views and fighting in packed stadiums. But in the court of public opinion, he is already judged. Every win he gets, people will doubt. Every loss, people will say he was finally exposed. His rivals do not fear him anymore. They point fingers at him. And when your name is damaged in boxing, your career is not far behind. Canelo Alvarez will keep fighting. He will keep earning. But the aura, the legend, the feeling of invincibility may already be gone. So what do you think? Is Canelo still one of the greatest ever? Or has the Pede storm already destroyed his legacy? Will the fight with Terence Crawford silence the critics? Or will it be the final blow? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to Ring Headquaterzz for more.